American Craftsman podcast is sponsored by Hayfla. Hayfla offers a wide range of products and solutions for the woodworking and furniture making industries. From hinges and drawer slides to connectors and dowels, sandpaper, wood glue, shop carts, and everything in between. Exclusive product lines such as Lux LED lighting and Slido door hardware ensure that every project you create is built to last. Learn more at hayfla.com. All right, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, back better than ever.
Yeah, it's 73 degrees outside right now. It's 6:58 a.m. and it's probably 83 degrees inside this office.
That's conservative.
Mm-hmm. Figured we better get shooting coffee. Better get this podcast recorded before it gets too hot in here. Because it gets hot.
Yeah, the office is probably, I don't know, what would you say, 5-10 degrees warmer than the shop?
Yeah, we should put in the problem is with dust.
Oh, like some Clara story?
Yeah. Maybe I don't know, some kind of fresh air intake from the outside.
Yeah, we got that beautiful window.
Yeah. So let's see. Last week we had John on, and that was I think that was on Wednesday, wasn't it?
Yes.
Got some good feedback on that episode.
Oh.
Yeah, people liked it.
Well, John's always a good guest.
Yeah. I guess people like controversy.
That's what John always tells us. That's right. I'm just remembering now the last episode.
Yeah. So that following morning on Thursday, we went out to Jersey City and delivered that 43-foot banquette that we've had in the shop for several months now.
Seems like longer than a week ago now, doesn't it?
That was yeah. We built that. It was like cold out.
Yeah.
It was like dead of winter. We've had that for a while. But luckily, we had it stacked up. It wasn't taking up too much space, but got to shoot the shit with Jim a little bit. Talked him into coming down and coming on the podcast.
That'll be another interesting episode.
Yeah, I'll have to firm up a date with him. Also, still need to get our buddy Tommy G.
That's right.
And Joe, I guess.
Yeah.
That'd be a good
episode.
Dynamic, yeah. Yeah, got to follow up with him too. But yeah, so we delivered those banquettes and then we had to go over to the sister restaurant.
Dull Boy? What was that?
No, I thought it was Doughboy.
Oh, I always thought it was Dull Boy.
Let me see, or maybe it is Dull Boy. But the other one's Jane Doe. It is Dull Boy.
It's Dull Boy and Jane Doe.
But Doe with Dough.
Huh.
Yeah.
So it would make more sense if it was Doughboy.
That's what made me think that. Chill brick-walled bar serving unique takes on classic American dishes plus an array of cocktails. 364 Grove Street, Jersey City. So basically we built a 16-foot version. Initially we built a 16-foot banquette for Dull Boy. And the 43-foot banquette is essentially the exact same thing, just a lot bigger. Actually has L's on the end. Whereas this one, it had just arms. Arms. But man, I mean, Jim and Robert and everybody over there, they did such a good job. They look.
They make magic, don't they?
So good. Those channel backs. I mean,
yeah.
Jim told me how much work they are, and it certainly looks like they're a lot of work. So that's what they'll be doing with the 43 foot it'll look exactly the same. I'm not sure about the colorway, but a 43 foot long with, I think they're 3 or 4 foot L's. So we're talking close to 50 linear feet of channel back banquette.
That'll take some time.
Yeah. Anyway, at Dull Boy, we had used these legs. They wanted 10-inch legs, which is sort of a weird height. You know, you could find 6-inch, 8-inch. I feel like even 12-inch is, 10-inch is a weird size for furniture. So there's not like a lot of availability from any reputable brands. So we bought all these legs off of Amazon, and they were just total shit.
They were metal, but really thin.
It was like, two soda can thickness. The only thing holding them,
1.5.
Yeah, the only thing holding them together is just like the tensile strength of a cylinder. It was like a hollow tube, 2-inch diameter tube, and then they had a small, or not small, but a thin plate welded in the top with a tapped hole, and then the base was just a 3x3 piece of metal with a piece of thread sticking out, and they screwed on. So we even took blocks and drilled a 2-inch hole and slid them over the leg and screwed them down to give it some more rigidity, but they just failed miserably. So what we did on the 43 foot is we used the Hafla XLO. They have one that's like 8 inches, and we actually put it on a 1.5-inch thick
riser,
like a rail. So that's how we made up the difference. They're 8 and they're adjustable, and just altered the dimensions of the 43 foot slightly, made the base thicker to make up that additional height. So
yeah, those will do the trick.
Yeah. So what we did is we made some of those same. Well, yeah, we didn't do the 1.5-inch thing on the 43 foot because we were able to just change the dimensions of the actual banquette. But that's what we did for this one. We made 4 like 8 foot long by 1.5 inch thick rails, attached the XLO plates or whatever you want to call them, the mounting holes to that, and just took the legs off, screwed those into the bottom of the banquette, and stood it up.
Yeah,
those are good for a commercial environment too. They're like 100% ABS. There's not going to be any rusting. They can mop right up to them.
That's what I was going to say. You think instantly mopping. They still mop, right?
I hope.
I didn't know if that was something that went out with us.
Yeah, usually it was like the dishwasher was the guy that had to mop.
Yeah, and you take that dirty mop and swab it all around.
Yeah. Yeah, it's filthy within the first 30 seconds of use.
Yeah, it's like dark gray.
Oof. Yeah, you got the ringer on the bucket.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, those were the days. That yellow bucket.
Yep. On the wheels.
Mm-hmm.
You put the mop in it and you drive it around with the handle of the mop.
Oh, man. There's some things that you can reminisce pleasantly about, but that's not one of them.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of mopping. It's because it's one of those things where, when the water gets dirty, you're like, what the hell am I even doing this for?
Yeah, you're spreading that dirty water around.
Yeah. So on the way out there, got a text from Lou, the painter. So Lou's still been here painting, been fighting the weather and everything. If he had clear weather, it would have been like a one week job, just like start to finish. But had all these days of rain and then days where he would start and then it would start raining. So unfortunately, he's been having a hell of a time, with the weather. And now it's like blazing hot outside. So he's got that. But we get a text and he's like, man, somebody tagged up the building last night. I'm like, fuck. So he sent a video. There was like 5 different spots on the side of the building. The front of the building's on Main Street, and then the one side is on a cross street. The other side is and the back are bordered by houses. So like 5 spots, blue paint. They write La Plaga.
Yeah. The cop was telling us that's like a character from a video game or something like that.
That's what Lou was saying. It's also some like Colombian BMX biker kind of thing, which seems more likely because I looked into it myself too, and the video game thing seemed kind of more obscure. What the hell was I going to say? Oh yeah, so I look on the cameras and I see, it was like 2:37 or 2:27 that morning. 3 kids, like kids. I mean, the one kid looked like he could have been 10 or 12. And it was like a minute start to finish. They pop up on the camera. There's like a car going by. They're hiding behind our neighbor Mikhail's truck, and then tag the building and leave. So whatever. We get back and call the cops. Just because, it's not our building. We have to document anything like this that happens. It's our responsibility to make sure that it's documented, just to cover our own ass, cover the landlord's ass. You know what I mean? And by that point, Lou he hadn't painted anything on that side yet. So he was able to
spot priming.
Yeah, he was able to spot prime over those spots. So yeah, gave the video to the cops, whatever. They said they'd pass the video around, try and see if they could recognize the kids, but nothing so far. But then I came in on Sunday for a little bit to work. I worked the whole day to work on my kitchen, and I found some more stuff out there. Same blue color, but this time just like random scribbles on the wall. So, again, I called the cops just so that they could, keep a record of it. And nothing since then.
No.
But just, stupid kids being stupid.
Yeah. It's going to be infuriating when we get the color on there. And if they come by.
Yeah, well, I'm going to wait on the roof at that point.
With a bucket of hot tar.
Something.
I think that's what they used to do. Hot oil over the ramparts.
Yeah.
Go medieval on them.
Yeah. I get it. Being a kid, you do bad things and stupid things, but listen, we're over here paying an exorbitant rent just trying to make a living. Mm-hmm. Go fuck with somebody else.
Yeah. Go tag the barbershop.
Yeah, whatever. Go to Dunkin' Donuts, and our landlord owns that too, but some corporate, place. Let them deal with it.
Yeah. Bank of America.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty bad. And on top of that, so when was it? I guess when we were leaving, or at some point in the drive, got an email from PNC. It's like, oh yeah, call us immediately. I'm like, oh, okay, what the fuck? So call them, and they're like, yeah, we have some suspicious charges here? Did you charge $648 to Summit Bike? I'm like, no. What about $422 to Target? Yeah, no. So somehow somebody got our credit card information, charged up, they said neither of them went through, but tried to charge like $1,000 on the card. So I had to freeze the card, and I have to go on and check and make sure that they didn't go through. But yeah, waiting on a new credit card.
Yeah, that was happening to me for a while with my American Express. Must have been like one of the things that is like an auto pay kind of thing, because it was like 3 cards in a row.
Huh.
That I had to get changed out every couple of months.
That's crazy. That they would be able to get the new number.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking it must have been attached to like a subscription service, and it was like an inside job.
Well,
can they do that?
They wouldn't be able to get your new. They wouldn't be able to get your new information unless you give it to them.
Yeah, like let's say it was somebody at Pete's Coffee.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how.
Oh well,
I don't know if that stuff's encrypted on the other end.
Yeah, I mean, because I just had to do that. What do they call it? I forget. Basically, if you handle credit cards, like we offer credit card payments through QuickBooks, depending on the job. So we have to be whatever. It's like a 3-letter abbreviation, CCS certified or whatever. EP something, electronic EPS, maybe electronic payment services, something like that. Like if we don't retain any of that information, it all goes through QuickBooks. We never even see. We might see the last 4 digits of the credit card. I think maybe that's it. But yeah, like that stuff's pretty strict. Like with just some regular peon at Pete's, there's no way that they'd be able to get.
I'll tell you how old I am. When I used to have one of those machines.
Oh, the sideways thing. I honestly don't even know how those would work.
Somebody's got to physically give you the card, and you put it over on, and that
it just takes a carbon.
Yeah, it had like carbon paper,
and then you got to call in the charges.
Yeah.
Wow, I do remember those being around. Like when I was very young. See when those.
Yeah, and I had like my own little metal plate, said like Barone Woodwork on it or something like that.
When did physical credit cards card machines end? Late 90s.
Wow. Yeah, so I mean, I guess it makes sense because that's when I had it.
Credit card imprinter, it was called. Zip zap machine, click clack machine, or knuckle buster. These devices were used from the advent of payment cards until the 1980s when electronic payment terminals started to replace them. However, they continued to be used well into the 2000s for places where network access was difficult, such as mobile locations like taxis and airplanes, or as a backup system in case of payment terminal failure.
Yeah. I never actually took a credit card payment.
No?
No. Because I even went into, I had the electronic thing too. Like it was like Square, one of those first ones. Yeah. You plug it in your phone.
Anytime you go to PNC, they're like trying to sell us on their
system.
Point of sale thing. It's like, listen, we use QuickBooks. Like, well, what are the rates? I'm like, I don't care what the percentage is. We only take so many payments. It's not like we're taking... I mean, how many payments do we get in a year?
Right.
50? 100?
Yeah, I was going to say, if it's one a week, it's a lot.
Yeah. Shit, I wish. So yeah, I had to do that, get that frozen, and actually still waiting on a new card. Should be here soon. But yeah, I had to switch everything over. Got like a plethora of emails. Like, your payment was declined. Because, got the utilities, the dumpster, all that stuff is on the credit card. So now it's moved over to the debit card.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's got to go through and re-up all those numbers.
Yeah, I just wait for them to tell me if they want their money. They can
ask nicely.
Exactly. So, got Stan coming by today from Level Home Improvement. He's got some drawer fronts to edge band.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Our first non-home-based edge banding project.
Yeah.
Right? Did we do something for somebody else?
I don't think so. Not that I can remember. But Stan, I think he's been in the market for an edge bander too. So I think that's that's probably part of the reason he wants to come down, is to check out the Sahisa and see what it's all about.
I think he'll like it.
Yeah, I think he's been looking at a Flexi P.
A little bit smaller footprint, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's tight on space.
Plus, it's got a cooler name.
I don't know. Compact PCS sounds pretty official.
The Flexi P.
Yeah.
Every time I think of something like that, it's like, there was a room full of people brainstorming what they were going to call this thing, like cars
in Spain.
Yeah. What do you think of the Flexi P?
Yeah, like what does P even? What's the P even stand for? That's like that guy I was telling you about, that comedian. What the hell's his name? Something. This, I feel like the one of the filters, like the one of the like noise gates. It's like chopping out some of my stuff.
That's exactly what it is. It's a gate.
Yeah. Like if I go, it must be in that 60 hertz or something. What the hell was I saying? What's his name? Wang something. I was telling you about it. It's a comedian we Allie and I watched on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet and Juicy is the name of the special. And he does a joke about the whole thing's about like getting older. He's probably, I don't know, maybe in his early 40s. And he's like, yeah, my favorite candy bar now is Mounds. And then he's like, Mounds is a bad name. He's like, but basically it's the whole joke is to that effect, where it's like there's, a meeting and they were like, yeah, let's call it Mounds.
I know. It's like, you don't even give it a second thought now, but
yeah.
Even names that like Kit Kat,
mm-hmm.
like if we were, it's like we got this candy bar and you said, what about Kit Kat? I'm like, it doesn't really make any sense. Why are we going to call it Kit Kat?
Yeah, well, there must be some backstory to that, but at least that's unique. And
yeah,
like there's nothing else called a Kit Kat.
Like Twix. I could see that. Like that's like just a made up word. I like that.
Apparently named after the Kit Kat Club, which got its name from a local pastry chef, Christopher Catling. Sources differ on the real surname, who is nicknamed Kit and supplied the club with meat pies that he called Kit Kats. 1911.
Wow, it's that old, the Kit Kat bar? Or that's the
originally trademarked by the Roundtrees Company in 1911.
Wow.
Yeah. Mutton pies known as Kit Kat were served at meetings of the political Kit Kat Club in London, owned by pastry chef Christopher Cat.
Mutton pie.
Yeah, I'd eat that. It was originally called Roundtree's Chocolate Crisp. But in 1937, the candy bar was renamed as Kit Kat Chocolate Crisp.
I like the chocolate crisp. It tells me what I'm in for.
I was going to say something. I forget what it was. Oh, he said something like, the only, what was it? It's the worst trying to retell jokes. But yeah, it's like the only worst option would have been piles.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah. That's a funny special.
Yeah.
Let me see what that guy's name is. Sweet.
One of my favorites is an old Chris Rock. He talks about being married.
Oh, Sheng Wang. Sweet and Juicy. He's anyone who's ever listened to Mitch Hedberg. He there's definitely, you can see a lot of influence from Mitch Hedberg.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. He was like long hair, glasses, real like deadpan. Ended up, I think, dying of a heroin overdose.
Oh, geez.
Mitch Hedberg. Yeah, he died in 2005.
Wow.
American stand-up comedian known for his surreal humor and deadpan delivery. Comedy typically featured short, sometimes one-line jokes mixed with absurd elements and non sequiturs.
I like the non sequitur.
Edinburgh was found dead in a room at the Westminster Hotel in Livingston, New Jersey. His death was formally announced on April 1st, leading some fans to believe it was an April Fool's Day joke. His death was initially believed to be the result of a congenital heart defect, but in December 2005, the New Jersey Medical Examiner's Office reported that he died accidentally as a result of multiple drug toxicity, including cocaine and heroin.
Well. Stay away from the drugs, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was funny. He's got a huge cult following.
How long was he around for?
Began his stand-up career in Florida, and after a period of honing his skills, he moved to Seattle and began the tour. No wonder he did heroin. Soon appeared on MTV's Kamikaze, followed by a 1996 appearance on The Late Show with David Letterman. Years active, 89 to 2005.
Yeah.
So, 16 years.
Yeah, Seattle, boy, what a reputation for...
It's all that rain.
Yes. I mean, I actually thought about moving to Seattle back in 80... It was probably about 88 or 89. Flew out there. Spent a week. Just didn't entice me.
Yeah, doesn't seem like I could deal with that weather.
Yeah, actually, it was pretty nice weather when I went out there, and everybody who lived there kept saying, it's not usually like this. I couldn't tell if they just didn't want me to move there or...
Yeah, they're like, don't come here.
But you think about those like bands that came up in the grunge era.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Cobain,
Yep.
dead. Soundgarden, Chris Cornell, dead.
Yeah.
And Lane Staley from Alice in Chains, dead.
Was he the singer?
Yeah, the three singers. Like the only one that's still alive is Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam.
Mm. I never really got into the grunge.
No, me either. Although I was big Soundgarden and Alice in Chains fans.
Yeah, I mean, I like the song, like the the songs that were popular.
Mm-hmm.
But I listened to Soundgarden. What's that one album? Super
Unknown.
Yeah, like I've listened to that album quite a bit. But
yeah,
aside from that, Nirvana.
I never listened. I don't like Nirvana and I don't like Pearl Jam.
Yeah,
I would say I absolutely don't like both those bands.
Yeah. I'd say I like Pearl Jam probably a little bit more than Nirvana, but neither of them enough to like actually listen to them on my own.
Right. Bad Motorfinger's a good Soundgarden record. I got turned on to Soundgarden with their first record. I think it was called Loud Love. Maybe that was like their first like record on like a major release.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, this guy's wailing.
He does have, one of the greatest voices.
Yeah, I just and
Bad Motorfinger, 1991, third album, but
yeah, what's Loud Love? Was that their
Louder Than Love?
Louder Than Love,
their second album.
Yeah, so that's when I heard them.
Recorded independently, but after they signed with A&M Records in 1989, making them one of the first grunge bands to sign to a major label.
Yeah.
They've got some weird names. Ultra Mega OK.
Yeah.
Bad Motorfinger. Where's the discography? Sometimes they bury it in these Wikipedia articles.
Yeah.
I feel like the Wikipedia article used to have a table of contents at the top.
I think you're right.
Oh, maybe I have to click. Yeah, there we go. I got to click that thing now. Ultra Mega OK, 1988. Louder Than Love, 1989. Bad Motorfinger, 1991. Super Unknown, 1994. Down on the Upside, 1996. King Animal, 2012. Black Hole Sun, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I loved that music video.
What other record? Chris Cornell was the singer for that compilation band.
Not Audio Slave?
No, it was before that. It was like a tribute to the guy who was the singer from Mother Love Bone, which was this band that never really got famous, that they all cited as an influence.
Temple of the Dog?
Temple of the Dog, yeah, I have that CD too. That was a pretty good disc.
American rock supergroup formed in Seattle, Washington in 1990. It was conceived by vocalist Chris Cornell of Soundgarden as a tribute to his friend, the late Andrew Wood, lead singer of the band's Malfunction, spelled weird, and Mother Love Bone. Lineup included Stone Gossard on rhythm guitar, Jeff Ament on bass guitar, both ex-members of Mother Love Bone.
Pearl Jam guys, I think.
Yeah, and later Pearl Jam. Mike McCready, later Pearl Jam on lead guitar, and Matt Cameron, Soundgarden, and later Pearl Jam on drums. Eddie Vedder appeared as a guest to provide some lead and backing vocals, and later became lead vocalist of Pearl Jam. So this band basically created Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
Well, I've definitely seen that pop up, Temple of the Dog, on some of the mixes that get put on.
Yeah, I mean, if you like Chris Cornell, it's a strong disc.
Yeah.
Definitely worth checking out. I have one or two of his solo records, but they're not as like heavy and groove rock as like Soundgarden is. That's you know me, I'm a sucker for like one of those groups, like Clutch or whatever. Yeah. Clutch comes on, I'm in the shop doing my thing. All of a sudden, the Clutch song comes on, and all of a sudden, my head starts moving a little bit.
Clutch is great. I feel like they get a bad reputation as like I don't know. I've heard it called like dad rock.
Dad rock.
Yeah.
Well, I'm no dad.
Clutch is an American rock band from Germantown, Maryland. Since its formation in 1991, the band lineup has included Tim Salt, lead guitar, Dan Maines, bass. That poor guy doesn't have his own Wikipedia article. Jean-Paul Gaster, drums, and Neil Fallon, vocals, rhythm guitar, keyboards. To date, Clutch has released 13 studio albums and several rarities and live albums. Since 2008, the band has been signed to their own record label, Weathermaker Music.
Yeah, I like Clutch, and he puts lyrics in songs that just like that's another thing. I'll just be cracking up.
Mm-hmm.
He'll say something like BMX grips or marine plywood. Like,
that's from the same song actually too.
Yeah. Where do these things come from?
Sunrise on Slaughter Beach. That's their most recent album. It's a good album.
It is.
Let's see,
he's got a really good voice too, which he doesn't always like sing purposefully, I think, but like on some songs he lets himself sing as well as he can sing. And I'm like, man, this guy's got some pipes.
Oh yeah. Clutch is great.
Yeah, that's a band that I never heard of until you started playing them. I'm like, who's that?
I discovered them. Like I had always heard the name, but I never listened to them. I may have inadvertently heard some of their music over the years and never, remembered the song or knew who it was by. But so I don't play drums, but I don't know. I like drums, so I subscribe to the Meinl, which is a cymbal company, and I think they make other percussion instruments. On YouTube, and they do these videos where they'll have a drummer, playing drums or whatever. And they had Jean-Paul Gaster playing Hot Bottom Feeder, which is a song about crab cakes. And I was like, actually, no, that wasn't it. It was, I think it was The Regulator was the first one I heard. And then I heard Hot Bottom Feeder. Anyway, I was like, man, this guy's good. Like, it's not super complicated or progressive music, but they're all like, they're really good at just playing these sort of, I don't know, just these solid songs.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I got to check these guys out. So then I started listening to them. And I mean, they're just, if you like rock music, they're just a good rock band.
Yeah. Like they don't sound anything at all like AC/DC, but I would put them in the same category, like basic rock and roll. That's so simple. It's great.
Yeah. And then here I'm seeing too, the Bakerton group, which I'm going to put them on today again. They have
that's good.
Yeah, an instrumental side project, which it's all the same guys. They're calling it an instrumental blues jam band. I wouldn't tend to agree with that.
It's not that bluesy, like traditional blues. Like
it's
when
not
you think
really
of it,
like a jam band.
Yeah,
like when I think jam band, I think like Grateful Dead and Fish.
right.
It's nothing like that. It's more jazzy and sort of psychedelic.
Yeah, it seemed much more focused than a jam band.
Yeah,
like not super extended solos or anything like that.
Yeah. What's it say here? Bakerton Group focuses on the instrumental talents of its members with songs of a psychedelic, groovy, jazz-infected feel.
Yeah. See, that's the other thing that kind of jumps out to me is like they don't really let out how good they are in Clutch.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's very purposeful what it is. Clutch is, made with these parameters.
Let's see what they say about the lead guitarist, because he's, you look at this guy, he's just like this like middle-aged, like looks like
because they're not young dudes anymore.
No. They all, let's see. This doesn't say when he was born. Richard Timothy Salt, an occasional member of the reggae rock / stoner rock band Lionize, as well as the band Deep Swell.
Yeah, those guys all got to be close to my age.
Clutch plays an average of 120 shows a year.
Wow.
Band is currently on tour as of May 9th, 2023. Let's see if they're coming.
We tried to see them during the pandemic.
Yeah, they played in December of 2020. It was either 21 or 22. Yeah, definitely not clicking on Ticketmaster.
Scalpmaster.
Yeah. Philly, they're playing on the 23rd.
What kind of venues they playing?
Doesn't say. Let's see. Like, how you not coming to New York? I find that crazy. They're going to DC, they're going to Pittsburgh, they're going to Philly. Then they just go to Toronto. Skipping over New York. I gotta go. I guess I have to go on Ticketmaster. Oh, it must be Franklin Music Hall. Did you hear that? It's cutting out. So I guess it's a cue for me to stop ing. Pricing and availability are subject to change. General admission.
Oh, geez.
$70.
General admission. Those are two words that are out of my vocabulary now.
Yeah.
I've crossed the threshold into reserve seating for sure.
And there's like 2 levels, I think.
Yeah.
That's the cheapest ticket, 70.
Yeah.
They go up to 157.
Oh man. I bet that's a raucous show.
Oh wait, this is Pittsburgh that I clicked on. That's not what I wanted. I wanted Philly. This is just a pit. $63 up to 74.
I'm about 40 years too late for that.
Yeah. They don't even show that there's like a bar. Franklin Music Hall. From what I understand, I think that's a pretty small place.
Yeah. That makes me think of the time when I was at ASU, when I saw the Police with Madness and the Thompson Twins opening up for them.
Oh, yeah, this is a...
Yeah. Whoa.
It's just in like an old warehouse.
We call that a throng of people.
Oh, did it used to be Electric Factory? Because that says Electric Factory.
Yeah.
I know, I've never been there,
place.
but I know of the Electric Factory because, growing up listening to like Philly radio stations are always talking about so-and-so this weekend at the Electric Factory.
Yeah, not playing in New York. They playing in San Francisco? I know some venues there.
Let's see. DC, Pittsburgh, Philly, Louisville, Sterling Heights, Michigan, Chicago, Indianapolis, Nashville, St. Paul, Minnesota, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Wichita, Kansas, Denver, Colorado. You're going to Wichita, but you're not going to New York. Portland, Oregon, Boise, Idaho, Salt Lake City, Las Vegas at the House of Blues.
Oh.
Ventura, California, 2 times, Ventura Theater. Until August 15th. I don't know what that means. I think that might be a typo. I think they're only playing 1 show. No. Then they go to San Antonio, Tulsa, New Orleans, Fort Lauderdale, St. Petersburg, Atlanta, Myrtle Beach, Charlotte, North Carolina. They got a show in Toronto on the 25th.
Wow. It's, so they must have pockets of popularity.
Yeah. I mean, they played Starland, so, it's a pretty small.
I wonder how they figure that out. Like, how do they figure out, like, they can play in Charlotte and not play in Bristol, Connecticut, or something like that?
Yeah. I don't know how it works. Do the venues reach out to the bands or vice versa? Or a little
Usually
bit of both?
you have, like, a tour manager and, somebody puts that together.
Mm-hmm. So this place, I was reading about this place recently, and I was supposed to go to a show here probably in, I think I was in middle school, so 2003, 2003 I was a freshman. So let's say like 2001, 2002, I was supposed to go to a show here with my sister, but I ended up getting in trouble for something, and then I wasn't allowed to go, but... Birch Hill nightclub. Like if you look at the the lineups at this place over the years, it was insane. It was a music venue and nightclub in Old Bridge Township, New Jersey. Venue ran into trouble in 2000 after an accidental drowning and drug raids, along with a loss of their liquor license. Birch Hill was sold in 2003 and is now a housing development. Many big-name bands played the venue, including Government Mule, Dio, Scorpions, Hoobastank, Blue Oyster Cult, Cheap Trick, UFO, Iron Maiden, Rainbow, Eve 6, Toadies, Sudsert, and Slayer. But I forget how I came about it, but it was like a video of System of a Down playing in like 2001 or so, or maybe 1999. It was like right before they really hit it big, but like this is actually the concerts. So let's see, what are some good ones? October 12th, 2003, Mudvayne, Power Man 5000. Those were pretty big bands at that time. August 8th, 2003, Edema, Power Man 5000. May 19th, 2003, Chevelle. They had a huge hit. I forget what the name of that song was. March 8th, 2003, Papa Roach. They were a huge band at that time. March 6th, 2003, Flogging Molly.
Heard of them?
Yeah. I think this is the show I was supposed to go to. February 1st, 2003, Finch, From Autumn to Ashes, and Steel Train. January 31st, 2003, my birthday, Coheed and Cambria, Hopes Fall, One Line Drawing, Code 7. November 30th, 2002, Stone Sour. November 24th, 2002, The Vines. I feel like I've heard of that.
Yeah, I think they were like one of those bands like the Struts and like that sort of like Skinny Tie Rebirth.
Wow, this is some website. Oh, wait, I don't know what that is.
Hey, you're giving me like flashback memories. That's like that was the height of my musical career, was being on those bills with like, there was the known band and then there was us.
This even has the set lists. That's pretty crazy. What an archive this is. Concertarchives.com. Let's see what else. November 8th, 02. Guar.
Oh, Guar with the costumes.
October 19th, 2002. Mustard Plug. I used to listen to them. Hoobastank. River City Rebels. October 12th, 2002. Coheed and Cambria. Andrew WK.
Oh, wow.
Coheed again. Chevelle, Guar, H2O. Typo Negative, Tiger Army, Dropkick Murphy, Seven Dust, Drowning Pool, Fishbone. I know that name. Is that a ska band?
Yeah, like like heavy rock. Sort of like a Red Hot Chili Peppers, but before the Red Hot Chili Peppers became like a pop band.
May 12th, 2001. MXPX and Good Charlotte. I mean, Good Charlotte was one of the biggest acts of that time period. January 26, 2001. You're not going to guess this one. Rat.
Oh, God.
Bad Religion. Lamb of God with Guar. Catch-22. Poison. Kitty. Wow. Kitty's an all-female metal band. Goldfinger. Anthrax. Slipknot. Biohazard. Dokken. Great White. Oh, my God. What a show. Dokken, Great White, Jester, and Midnight Angel. That was the oldies night in 1999.
99. Wow.
Joan Jett and the Blackhearts.
I like Joan Jett.
Quiet Riot, System of a Down, January 21st, 1999. That must have been the show I was looking at. They also played there October 17th, 1998. Dream Theater, Anthrax, Clutch, Slayer, and System of a Down. What a show.
Whoa.
January 14th, 1998. What's the set list? Clutch was the headliner.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, and System of a Down was mid-bill over Slayer. Let's see. Clutch. Impetus, 8 Times Over Miss October, Wishbone, Escape from Prison Planet. Love that song. A Shogun Named Marcus, Rats, Elephant Riders, The Soap Makers. Oh, you know what? I guess, no, Slayer is the headliner. They list it in like
the openers first.
Yeah, usually it's the other way around, isn't it?
Yeah,
I guess like when it's a festival, they put them at the top. Yeah, because I'm like looking, I'm like, oh, Slayer played 18 songs.
Yeah, we used to play like 6 songs sometimes.
Cottonmouth Kings, Biohazard and Earth Crisis, another hardcore band.
Yeah,
Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Dream Theater, Weezer, one of my guilty pleasure bands. 1996. Deftones. Joan Jett played there a lot. Biohazard, Overkill, Jersey thrash bands.
Yeah.
Joan Jett again. Buffalo Tom, I don't recognize that. Anthrax with Life of Agony and Deftones as the headliner. Overkill again. Joan Jett again. Is she from Jersey?
I don't think so. She's from the Runaways, so I think they were a California band.
Wow, that's 1988. February 12th, 1988. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts.
She had a couple of hits in, let's see, what year was that? I Love Rock and Roll, and she redid the Tommy James and the Shondells, Crimson and Clover. That must have been...
Oh, is that the same as Jimmy Eat World's Crimson and Clover?
Crimson and Clover, over and over.
Yeah, same lyrics, but they totally changed the...
Let's see, what year?
At least the chorus. I don't know about that.
That was like the early 80s. That was like 80... it's hard to remember. Like 82, I want to say. I Love Rock and Roll.
But yeah, there was a lot of like little clubs in this area specifically that, had a lot of big name bands come through. Even Starland, I mean, they still have pretty big acts. Not, obviously they're not stadium acts, but big name bands. Hunka Bunka was another one that I think Hunka Bunka became Starland Ballroom. What's up?
Shore Pro Painting is on the set.
Yeah, you want to jump in for a couple minutes? You don't have to. Okay. We're just talking about, I don't know how we got onto Starland Ballroom. Let's see. Hunka Bunka Club became one of Central Jersey's premier concert venues. Building was originally known as the Journey Mill Inn, a local bar with a banquet hall. It was originally known as the Hunka Bunka Ballroom and then Willie's. It has operated as a dance music club, but more often hosted concerts with primarily metal, punk, and ska lineups. I should say that. There's a lot of those kind of places that played, hardcore and punk and that kind of stuff, metal.
I wonder what kind of archive CBGB's keeps.
Oh, God, I can only imagine. Here's noted performers at Starland. Against Me. I'm not going to name them all. All That Remains, Amon Amarth, Anthrax, As I Lay Dying, Alice in Chains, Atreyu.
Wow.
It's hard to skip any of these. Avenged Sevenfold, Bad Religion, Ben Folds, Billy Currington, Black Label Society, Blink-182, Bo Burnham. I didn't know they do comedy. Bon Jovi, The Bouncing Souls, Brian Fallon, Bruce Springsteen, Buck Cherry, Bullet for My Valentine, Cannibal Corpse, Chester Bennington. I didn't know he did anything solo. Chris Brown, Collective Soul, Childish Gambino, Clutch, DMC, Dashboard Confessional, Dierks Bentley, Disco Biscuits, Dokken, The Doobie Brothers, Dropkick Murphys, E-Town Concrete, Every Time I Die, Exodus, Fall Out Boy, Finger 11, From Autumn to Ashes, Garbage, The Get Up Kids, God Forbid, Gogol Bordello.
I don't know them.
American punk rock band from the Lower East Side of Manhattan. Never heard of them. Good Charlotte, Green Day, Greta Van Fleet. I'm surprised they played there. Maybe before they kind of got big. Gwar, Him, Hanson.
Oh, geez.
Hatebreed, Hollywood Undead, Iced Earth, Jackal, Jimmy Eat World, Johnny Maestro on the Brooklyn Bridge, Justin Timberlake, Casey Musgraves. That sounds familiar. Knocked Loose, Killswitch Engage, Knocked Loose, LA Guns, Lamb of God, Lifehouse, Mastodon, Megadeth, Metallica, Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, Misfits, Modest Mouse, Motionless in White, Motorhead, My Chemical Romance, Nelly Furtado, The New York Dolls.
Wow, cool.
The Offspring, Overkill, Papa Roach, Paramore, Parkway Drive, Parliament Funkadelic, Peaches and Herb.
Yeah, Peaches and Herb. Can't think of the song, but they had one or two like disco hits that you would know.
Peaches and Herb is an American vocal duo. Herb fame has remained a constant as Herb since the duo was created in 1966. 7 different women have filled the role of Peaches, most notably Francine Edna. That's where it cuts off. Puddle of Mud, Queensryche, Real Big Fish, Rob Zombie, Saves the Day, Seether, Seven Dust, Skid Row, Skillet, Social Distortion, Stained, Streetlight Manifesto, Sum 41, Testament, Thin Lizzy, Third Eye Blind, 3 Days Grace, Thursday, Trace Atkins. Seems like a strange act there.
Yeah.
Trivium, Twisted Sister, Velvet Underground, Volbeat, Warrant Wasp, Wu-Tang Clan, Yngwie Malmsteen, and Ziggy Marley. I feel like Jersey's got a pretty, the history is pretty steeped in tradition.
Yeah, like Stone Pony. I mean, that was like a renowned place that even like people from New York wanted to go play in Jersey.
Yeah, let's see what they got to say about that. Of course, I didn't type it right. The page The Stone Pony does not exist. Well, okay. Then why do you give me a link for one called The Stone Pony? Music venue in Asbury Park, New Jersey, known for launching the careers of many New Jersey music legends, including Bruce Springsteen, John Bon Jovi, and Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes. Opened in 1973. I thought it was around for longer than that.
Me too.
Prior to becoming a music venue, the building housed a restaurant named Mrs. J's. Later named Mrs. J's Beer Garden, that was frequented by a polyglot. What the hell is that?
I think that's like a group that's like very varied.
Okay. It says citation needed right next to it. Community of tourists, high school and college students, and bikers, citation needed. During the mid-1960s, Mrs. J's management began to allow bands to perform after the restaurant and beer garden went out of business in 1968, allegedly over a waitress wearing a see-through blouse. Mrs. J's moved 2 doors south and reopened a short time thereafter.
A polyglot is knowing or using several languages.
Sounds like a misuse of the word.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Wow, this doesn't give like a
doesn't give you a rundown.
Yeah.
Too many, probably.
A visit to the Stone Pony has been considered a pilgrimage to rock and roll fans around the world. It is a place that is important not just to us, but to the world. New Jersey Governor Christy Todd Whitman said as she officially reopened the club on Memorial Day weekend 2000.
I think the first time I played there was in 1989.
Wow.
How old were you?
Depends on what time of year. I might not even been born.
Yeah, because you were born at the end of the year. I don't think you were born.
Well, at the beginning.
Okay, that's right. January. Yeah.
Jacqueline's coming by at 9:30 or 10.
Okay.
I was going to say, we got to ask her to come on the show.
Yeah.
We got to get a
female voice.
Yeah, we'll get the interior designer side of all of our gripes. And
yeah, be interesting to hear what she complains about.
Yeah. I was going to say, Christy Todd Whitman, it's funny that comes up. I heard on the radio yesterday, her and Andrew Yang, who you might remember from the presidential race of 20...
Universal income and Andrew Yang.
I don't remember. Yeah, UBI, Universal Basic Income. I don't remember if it was the last one or the one prior. I think it must have been 2020. Is that when it was?
I think it was. He was debating with Trump, wasn't he?
In the first one or because he was a Democrat. I thought. Andrew Yang. Anyway. He and Christy Todd Whitman, who's a ex-governor of New Jersey, like throughout my childhood, before Chris Christie, there was, do you remember the guy before? Big scandal. Turned out, he had like a family, but then he was like gay. And he was like, on the turnpike, like in the glory holes or something.
Yeah. What the hell was his name?
Oh, man. Oh, NJ Governors. It's one of those. It's gonna.
Yeah, I didn't live in Jersey at the time.
McGreevy.
Yeah.
McGreevy. Oh, and Corzine. I forgot about Corzine in between there. But yeah, they started a new. A new party called the Forward Party. Let's see. Andrew Yang, Christy Todd Whitman move quote unquote forward with third party. Group of ex-Republicans and Democrats has announced the formation of a third party, the latest effort to break the duopoly that has dominated American politics for more than a century. Co-chaired by former Democratic presidential and New York mayoral candidate Andrew Yang and former Republican New Jersey Governor Christy Todd Whitman, the Forward Party is pitching itself as an alternative for centrists dissatisfied with the state of two major parties.
Well, I'm dissatisfied with two major parties.
I think it's the common consensus. It's crazy.
Can I be dissatisfied with a third? Come on.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be like, may I have another, sir?
Let's see. Give us some...
what are their bullet points?
Yeah, they were talking about it a little bit on the radio. This is actually... It's from the New York Post. Steering away from far fringes of the left and right to find the common ground. That approach can solve almost every problem. Really, anyone who's willing to work together to solve problems fits in the Forward Party. Yang told Reuters that the party is starting in a very strong financial position with a budget of around $5 million. Financial support will not be a problem, he promised.
It all sounds good on paper.
Yeah. Like, why can't they just give some bullet points as to, here we go, this is NPR, which is a little bit of a more legitimate news source than the New York Post.
Come on, page 3.
Back in Canyons right now, blah, blah, blah. This is like a transcript of an interview. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring it up because
that's
name.
Curious.
Name came up.
I'd love to see something happen, where the extremes are sort of challenged.
Yeah. I think Christy Todd Whitman was a pretty well received governor. I don't really remember. I was young, but 50th governor of New Jersey from 1994 to 2001. So she had a pretty good run.
Yeah, that was before my time. I moved here in, I've been here for 21 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Moved here July 4th weekend, 2002.
Wow.
A long time.
Here we go. They got their own Wikipedia now, Forward Party.
Really?
Also known simply as Forward, FWD, a centrist political party in the United States. Forward has 2 political party affiliates at the state level that have achieved ballot access. Mergers, political cabinet's original platform included instituting 18-year term limits for members of Congress. For it. It also sought to establish a new cabinet-level Department of Technology. For it. The party supported civic juries and advocated for a citizens portal. Not sure what that is. Party supported data as a property right. Not sure how I feel about that. Don't know either way. Party called for an economy based on quote-unquote human-centered capitalism. For it. The enactment of universal basic income. I think I'm for it. And support for alternative forms of measuring economic progress. Party advocated for automatic tax filing. For it. Ford's former platform supported the implementation of a universal healthcare system. For it.
We like that.
And it encouraged states to adopt nonpartisan primaries. For it. And implemented ranked choice voting. For it. Concept Yang draws from political theorist and businesswoman Catherine Gale, called Final Five voting. Ranked choice, if you don't know, is I forget how many choices you get. I think it's 3.
That I don't know. I just know the end result is, whoever gets the most.
It's almost like a lot of times it's almost like a playoff,
right?
So like you vote and you get to vote for 3 people. So it's me, Rob, and Lou, and you. Well, yeah, I guess usually there's more. If you get to pick 3, there's 8 people. You pick, your first choice, your second choice, your third choice, and I think it's anyone who doesn't get at least 20% of the vote is knocked out.
They're out.
Yeah.
So it could be people from the same party going against each other in the end.
Yep.
Different parties. It's just the most popular people go in the runoffs.
Yeah. Let's see if they have here we go. Alaska 2022 president. In 2020, Alaska elections voters approved Measure 2, ranked choice voting for state and federal, including presidential elections. It replaces party primaries with a single nonpartisan blanket primary. So the top 4 candidates advance to a general election. However, presidential primaries continue to be partisan. It's kind of a blanket term for a lot. It's not one definitive way to do it, but it makes people feel like they're not wasting a vote. You can vote for the person that you want without saying, well, this person's not going to win, so I shouldn't vote for them because it's going to be a waste of a vote, which is a big issue.
I want to see some defectors. That's when I'll know that the Forward Party is something to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
Like from both parties, like the Democrats and the Republicans. I'd love to see people like going, I'm not in touch with this party anymore. I'm going to join this party. And
right.
That'd be cool.
Also proposed independent redistricting commissions. I'm definitely for that.
Yeah, the gerrymandering is like insane.
Yeah. And public finance reform in the form of democracy dollars, which I'm pretty sure is they want to give each person in the U.S. These quote unquote democracy dollars that they can then donate to the political. So
I'm for anything that has to do with taking money out of
the pockets of the people with the money.
Well, that too. except my money, damn it. Don't touch my money. Yeah. But I mean, in the political process, it's definitely,
it's a huge issue. And, I don't donate to any political campaigns.
No. Yeah, it's a war of attrition, these primaries.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have the biggest war chest, you're never going to make it for the year and a half that it takes to wage one of these campaigns.
Yeah.
So you can effectively buy your success.
Exactly. Yeah. Whoever spends the most
is the last person standing.
Yep. Anyway, they're hitting a lot of political stuff lately. Oh wow, we jumped up over an hour real quick.
Yeah, it was all that reminiscing about good old rock and roll.
Yeah. Well, that's all we got this week.
Yeah, and support your local musicians out there. And let me give you a shameless plug. Support me. go to I think it's the name first on Bandcamp. It's robertbarone.bandcamp.
Let me check.
Yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think. It's not super low quality, but it was all done for free with GarageBand.
Yeah, it's Robert Barone, RobertBarone.bandcamp.com.
But I play all the instruments and do all the tracks are me. Like the stuff that's horns, drums, it's all programmed.
Give you a little taste.
It's called Evil That Men Do.
Yep.
you might get a little picture of my leanings.
Oh, you got one with Kelly on here.
Yeah, I miss her.
That's all we're going to give you because you got to go out and check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, it started playing again.
It off?
It started playing again.
It's AI.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Well, that's it. We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, take care, everybody.
As always, Rob and I thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. If you want to help support the podcast, you can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Again, we appreciate your support. Thanks for tuning in.